what's going on, everybody? I'm Guns for Hire, and welcome to the Gun Shop here on You Always Win, where I'm going to be sharing opinions and stories about video games and techie type stuff. Remember, they're just opinions. You've got yours, I've got mine, and you know there's a dude in the comments right now whose opinion is right, because you didn't know that he was the center of the universe. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto 5, GTA 5, or at least somewhat, kind of, sort of, almost. You'll see what I mean by that. We're also going to be looking into a particular type of mobile game. I'm going to talk about this one title, but it kind of opens up through other mobile games that are similar in nature. I don't get it. I don't get the attraction to this type of game at all. Some of you are highly addicted to them. And of course, we're also going to be talking about, oh, I already hear you. I can hear the collective sigh already. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Oh, hold on. I'll explain in the video about it. And it's no surprise that you're going to be going, Call of Duty, why are we talking about this? Hilarious that you would actually even think that. Well, it's no surprise that Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to the PlayStation 4. I can't call them next-gen systems because they're the current-gen systems now, you know, Xbox One and PS4. But it's going to be, here's the thing, it's going to be the largest digital download, I believe, or installation of that game for the system. 50 gigabytes. Now, granted, that shouldn't really be too shocking because the Blu-ray, double-sided Blu-ray or dual-sided Blu-ray, you know, where you can do both sides, 50 gigabytes. And games like, I believe Metal Gear used up to or close to that 50 gigabytes, Uncharted as well, but an installation, a requirement to actually be on the actual system of 50 gigabytes is huge. And here's my problem. The game may be amazing, and this isn't me attacking Grand Theft Auto 5 at all. As a matter of fact, I don't really care how big the game is. I don't care if it's 100 gigabytes. But it seems that the current gen, we'll say current gen, you know, it used to be next gen, now it's current gen. The current gen systems are ill-equipped for these games. They want to embrace, you know, they're supposedly supposed to be embracing the next gen, you know, 1080p, although let's not get into the graphics right now, probably for another show. But, you know, 1080p, 60 frames per second, it's supposed to sort of amp up. It's supposed to be a completely different experience for, you know, video games going forward. And yet, you know, the whole Blu-ray thing, you know, the Xbox One now embraces that because it was dual-sided DVD, which severely limited disc size for games on the Xbox 360. But now, obviously, Xbox One, you know, they're like, all right, let's do it. This is the accepted version. Because at that time, though, in their defense, you know, Sony was the one pushing Blu-ray, and it was a battle between Blu-ray and HD DVD. And Blu-ray won. So, I mean, you know, you can see where this happened. And then all of a sudden, they did have it. I believe Xbox 360 had that HD DVD system. But of course, since it's not supported and it kind of went, they didn't support it anymore. These 50 gigabyte games should be commonplace. The installation, people are like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. This is what happens as the games get better. I mean, look at 4K resolution. Videos that are 4K are huge in size. They're monstrous. So the games, as they get better, obviously are going to take up more space. But what about the hard drives? What about these hard drives on these next-gen systems, on the Xbox One, on the PS4? Like, the ones that they're providing, I think I've got an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, and I think it's 500 gigabytes. But when you're talking about a single game that takes up 50 gigabytes, and that's not including your music, your video, your movies that you may download on that, all the other media functions that are on there, that's a significant chunk of your hard drive for just one game. And so you can see I'm not attacking GTA 5, I'm more or less attacking the next-gen systems, the current ones that we have here. They're ridiculously ill-equipped for this. I'm surprised that they're not doing standard. Now, you may be able to upgrade them. Oh, no, but you can swap them and upgrade them. It should be standard at this point for the current gen systems that it's a 1 to 2 terabytes. I would say a 2 terabyte hard drive. If it doesn't have a 2 terabyte, again, like, why are they setting themselves back? To drive the price down, obviously. But even, you know, a 1 to 2 terabyte hard drive, the price in that monstrous amount, you know, truly they could have brought the price down. It wouldn't have brought it up that much, but like every penny counts, you know. Oh, whereas it's $50 cheaper, it's huge impact on the consumer market. I don't know. Is it just me, or do you find like the next gen or the current gen systems, the PS4 and the Xbox One, are not really up to snuff? Like, they're just not equipped for even current systems. Like, they're already behind the 8 ball. They're already behind in terms of, you know, not catching up. This isn't like leaps and bounds. We're already behind on it. It's kind of sad. And I love my console. I primarily play on PC, but I love playing on my console for certain games. And I just find it kind of a joke, really. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is coming November. Well, I mean, why even bother? Why not just throw an MW3 or Black Ops 2? Same game, right? That's what majority of people say. I know it. You know what? It's funny. I'm just going to say this. I've already pre-ordered it, by the way. So I know I'm confusing some of you. You're like, is he supporting it? Is he not? I'm ready to attack him, but I'm not quite sure what side he's on. I get it from both sides. I actually understand the I'd say hatred, but hatred's a strong word. Maybe some of you know, I hate it. Some of you don't like Call of Duty. Some of you played it in the past and now you don't play it anymore and you're tired of it. And then there's people like me who have played it, and I don't consider myself super old school because I didn't play Call of Duty 1, 2, or 3. I hopped on board on Call of Duty 4. But I played it ever since, and I play it every single year, and I still get kind of excited about it, even though I don't, go out there and say, it's gonna be amazing, because I don't really know until I've actually played it. I can get carried away just like you with the hype and everything like that. And I know some of you are tired of it, but it seems like the trend over at least the last, and maybe it's just me, maybe because of social media, but the last 2, maybe 3 years, it's like the cool thing, all the cool kids hate on Call of Duty. And it's easy. It's easy to hate the big game. And maybe it's not the biggest game anymore, games like Grand Theft Auto 5, but you're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5, while it was huge, is like a one hit right now. The previous ones, they did well. I played them, by the way, and I do actually like Grand Theft Auto. I haven't played 5, but I get it. What I'm saying is there's a consistency, though, with Call of Duty. It's a reliable product. You know when you get it. You know how it's going to feel. You know how it's going to look. You know how the weapons are going to react, even though it's a completely different game. And maybe true, the maps, maybe it's like, oh, well, it's just different maps and different guns to a certain degree, but I always notice slight improvements. And sometimes I don't even always like those features that are in there, but there are changes. Are they going to sell less? I know there's reports out there that they're going to sell something like, was it 3 or 6 million? Could be 6 million units less. And, people like Fisticuffs, of course, because I follow him on Twitter, he's a classic. And I know he loved the game at a certain point. He loved Call of Duty. He would put it up on a pedestal. He loved that game. But he's feeling the withdrawal from it. He's like, I'm done with it. I'm done with Advanced Warfare. And a lot of people are like that. But I think that's normal. I think it's normal to feel that way, no matter which one you actually played. And I'm going to go into this briefly. I've talked about this in the past, but I feel it myself, but not as bad as some of you guys do. And that is the first Call of Duty you play. The first time you've ever played it, because they have a very consistent, like I said, they have a very consistent feel across the board, whether it's COD 4, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, blah, blah, blah. They have a very similar. They're not exact, and I know there's differences between them, but you can pick it up. If you're good at Call of Duty on one of those, when you get the next one, chances are you're going to be pretty decent at it. Maybe there's some, lag issues or, whatever, those compensation issues and all that sort of stuff there. But overall, it's going to be a familiar feel to it. The first one that you play, though, is like the eye-opener for you. You got a love for it. For me, it's the Call of Duty 4. But oddly enough for me, it was Modern Warfare 2 that I put up on a pedestal that I absolutely loved. Sure, it had a lot of issues. One-man army noob tubes, commando lunging, sure. But overall, those things aside, which, are pretty big, I absolutely love that one. And ever since that, and that amazing feeling that I had from Call of Duty 4, especially when I was like, wow, like I was a full-time job, like I wasn't doing YouTube full-time. I was just a gamer just like yourselves. I wasn't doing it for a living. I wasn't playing it, hoping to get views or anything. I was just like, wow, I love this game. Like I'm going to work, I'm in a law office, and I can't wait to get home and play this till way too late in the morning so that I'm a piece of crap at work the next day. And after that, though, it was like it would never, that feeling, that excitement for the game. The only one that I had for that after was Modern Warfare 2. I was like, oh my God, Modern Warfare 2, it was the second installment. But then it still, while I liked it, it still wasn't that crazy rush that I had. And you may have it differently. If you started playing Call of Duty on Black Ops 1, I can almost guarantee you that Black Ops 1 to you was the best. Oh man, Black Ops 1 was the best. It was so good. I loved it. I don't know if people say that about Modern Warfare 3, but you know, it's quite possible. But my point of this is that even if you absolutely loved it, even if you're absolutely looking forward to and you're like actually excited, like I am, I don't hide it, I don't really care, I'm not one of those people, I don't hide from it. I'm excited for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm always excited for the next Call of Duty. I love that game. But the cool thing is everyone's like, oh man, yeah, that game totally sucks. Same thing. Oh, look, it's the same engine. You haven't changed anything. Even though, like, I look at Advanced Warfare and I think, I don't know what these people are talking about, because to me, that's vastly different from the previous Call of Duties. I'm not talking about comparing it to Titanfall or comparing it to Halo or all these other games. I'm just looking at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare versus the previous versions. And I'm not saying that it's got to be, I don't want them to change the field. That's an important thing too. I don't care about the graphics. Yeah, sure, I like to see graphical capabilities improve for games that need it, but it's not always required. And we know that, and we're not getting into that discussion. But I know that the feel is going to be there. I'm going to be comfortable with it. But you've got a different movement. You've got these options. It's not just about a weapon. It's not just like, oh, I've got this new weapon and a new attachment. Those things, I don't really care what you call them. You get used to, you get your comfortable, your favorite SMG, you get your favorite assault rifle, maybe you dabble with an LMG, maybe you dabble with a shotgun. You find your favorites. And it doesn't matter what they call it. It doesn't matter what they make it look like. You get comfortable with a certain weapon, and that becomes your favorite arsenal. But that exosuit changes the dynamics of that game. It's no longer just running here, jumping here, crouching, sliding. It's about the double jump. It's about verticality. It's about shifting in the middle of the air. It changes the gameplay tremendously from the other versions. So I don't really understand whether it's good or bad. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad or whether you think it destroys the game. Maybe it should be more basic, because believe me, I'm almost like with fisticuffs. I'm more with the basic. I wish that it was more about the gun game, but I understand that they've already taken it to an area where there's no real going back. There's so many options. There's so much customization involved in Call of Duty that if they went back to like a Call of Duty 4, you'd see sales plummet even more. They wouldn't see it. They'd be like, oh man, there's no options, there's nothing. It's all about gun skill and gun reaction. You know what I mean? Even though that should be an important part, you know, we've gone to this point where you have these options, you feel like your character is your own. You have this unique recipe that you go in there and you own people with. But with that, I think it changes so much. I don't understand. I really don't understand the mentality of the gaming community for the hatred. Because no matter what, you know what's funny is these people, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be horrible, and they're bashing, and you see the comments and the ratings are just getting trashed. They're like, oh man, that game friggin' sucks. Oh, look, it's gonna be horrible. Oh, nice change, Activision. Same game. They're like pre-ordered. They're like closet fans. Your closet. There are so many of you out there that bash the game, yet you'll get, well, I'm gonna get it. But it's just, I'm like, no, it's not cool. It's not cool to bash it. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. I don't even understand the point of bashing something. If you have no intention of buying something, why even waste your time? Why go in there and crap on everyone else's shreddies? You know what I mean? Like, why go in there and ruin it? And, you know, they're having a good time. They're enjoying it. They're excited for it. If you don't like it, go away. You know, really, those people there, if you have no intention of buying it, they don't care about your opinion. They don't. I know you have the right to share it. I get that. But why so negative, man? Like for me, if I don't like something, I'm certainly not going to watch a video of it. I'm like, a game that I hate? Why would I watch that video? I'm like, I hate this game. I'm going to watch it and let everyone know that I actually hate it. I hate this game. Unless you're like, oh, this is a horrible game because it's a thing to do, and then you're like, you're going to get it. You know, like my son is a perfect example, and yes, I know he's a little young to play it. He recently came up to me, and just randomly, and he was like, you know what, I'm kind of getting bored with Call of Duty. I get it, and he's only been playing for the last like 2 years or something like that, or a year. So he's only been playing a couple of them, and he's already saying, I'm kind of tired. But he's got the annual blues, and that's why they do it every year. Within that year, you get tired of the same levels. No matter how many DLCs they put out, you get tired of playing that iteration of Call of Duty. And also in Advanced Warfare, I'm like, oh, so I guess I won't buy you Advanced Warfare. That's what I say to him. I'm like, well, I'm getting it. I'm playing it no matter what. I'm going to get it. I'm excited for it. He's like, well, I didn't say I was going to get it, but I'm just like, I'm kind of bored with it. I'm like, well, you're just bored with not Call of Duty. You're just bored with that particular one that you're playing, you know, with Ghosts and everything like that. I play Ghosts every day. You know what I mean? I'm not a closet. I don't hide it. I play it every single day. I love the game. It doesn't really bother me. I just kind of find it funny. No, just be honest with me. Just be honest with me. How many of you have complained about Call of Duty, have bashed it, whether it was a previous title, maybe it was last year, maybe it was the year before, or maybe it's this year where you're bashing it and you're getting on that hate wagon because it's there. You know it. I just find it funny. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, man, that game never changes, and you're complaining about it. But you've either already pre-ordered it, or you know for a fact that you are going to buy that game when it comes out. Because at that time, there's going to be a lot of people playing it, and really, in terms of first-person shooters, there's really not much out there that's better than it in terms of feel. And I'm not talking about for what it delivers. You know what I mean? Battlefield gamers, very different experience, different maps, different gameplay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this arcadey, fast reaction first-person shooter. There's very few games out there, to almost none, I don't even know them, that will provide you with a better experience than that. 60 frames, you know, that arcadey type feel. How many of you actually do that? How many of you have complained and have got plans on buying it or have pre-ordered? I'm curious. You let me know. Follow me on Twitter as well. My link to that is in the description below, or even in the comments. I'll read the comments because I'm very curious about that. All right, the last thing I want to talk about quickly here is a particular, I'd say, style of mobile game, or you know, iPads or your tablets or whatever. And I don't understand them, but they're crazy popular. And chances are some of you, statistically, some of you, if maybe a good chunk of you, actually have these and like them. And I don't get it. Maybe you can tell me why, or what it is that you enjoy about them. Because I look at them, I'm like, why on God's green earth would you ever want to play a game like that? I don't understand it. And the perfect example of one that's very popular right now is Clicker Heroes. Clicker Heroes. I've seen some YouTube videos of it. My kids play these type of things. They had one where it was like the boss. I don't know if the name of it's Kill Your Boss, but it's just like a boss character. He's just like, you know, he's in there and you've got like weapons or a microwave and you're just slashing the screen and you're just hitting him and there's coins popping out. He doesn't fight back at all. You know, he doesn't do anything, but you release these coins and then you can buy new weapons and you can do all sorts of stuff. Same sort of premise for this Clicker Heroes. If you haven't seen it, look it up. I'm not going to put a particular link in there because I don't know. I don't even know if there's a truly respectable video out there that shows like this is truly the amazing video. And I'm not bashing it because some of you like it. And I know Daz, even, or, you know, Daz from You Always Win, he actually likes this game. And I'm like, I don't get it. There's no AI, there's no fight, there's no skill level. It's a character on the screen, and all you do, I don't even know if you actually, on Clicker Heroes, if you have to do anything. It's like, the one I was looking at, he was like scrolling on the side at other things that he's collected, that are experienced. Meanwhile, these characters on the one side were getting killed. Like automatically, you could see their hit points going down, but there's no battle back and forth. You're not fighting them like a Pokemon. It's not like this character versus that character. There's no interaction. It's just, hey, this is a character here, it's gonna die, it doesn't fight back, and it'll release some coins, and then you get new stuff. I don't get it. Why do you play these games? They're not interesting. There's no challenge. There's no learning curve. It's just automatic. It's just swipe the board and like, oh, hey, you know what? Let's collect points. Why don't you just have a big board and there's money constantly falling and you just keep on swiping like, oh man, look how much money I'm getting. It's crazy. This is fun. And then you're drinking your coffee and you're just swiping. You're like, oh man, I love this game. Look at the cash I'm getting. No, I don't get it. Those games, I'm just going to say, in my personal opinion, remember, could be vastly different from yours, but they suck. Those games are horrible. There's no challenge. I don't see the fun. What is it that you like about it? Honestly, maybe I'm open-minded, believe me. Just me looking at it. I've never played it. So I've never played it. I'm going to be honest with you. What is it that you find fun about it? If you actually play them, if you haven't played them, or maybe you're like me, are any of you out there, do you find those games incredibly boring? Do you like those games? Do you think they're a waste of time compared to other, like I play mobile games every night I go to sleep. I play Subway Surfer. I play 8-ball pool. There's a few others that I was playing and stuff like that. Like, I get it. I like mobile games. I like the simplicity of it, but not that. I couldn't sit there and just play it. I don't want to, because maybe it's some weird hypnosis thing that's getting you to like, click some more, keep clicking. You love to click. You love to click. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this game. And people will be like, why do you love it? I don't know. I just do. It's clicktastic. Leave the comments in the below. If you've got anything else you'd like me to talk about here on the Gun Shop, please drop me a line on Twitter. Again, follow me on there if you haven't. I'm always looking on it. Drop by, say hi. You know, it kind of rhymes. Actually, it sounds cool, doesn't it? I'll pretend that I actually meant to do that. Drop by, say hi. Gun Shop. See you guys next time.